Hey, my observer. Today I will be talking about a very important lesson. I'm going to talk on simple on noun infinitive, the gerundial infinitive, the split infinitive, and the gerund. It is one that confuses absolutely everybody. By hearing the name, people get so frightened. They get fright of the word gerund and infinitive. But it is not that bad. Actually, it's very simple. I will be telling a series of devious stratagems how you can remember these two chapters simultaneously. You have to know certain rules which would help you to learn these two chapters well. So without skipping, watch the slides till the end.
Come to the slide, and here we get to know the uses of simple or noun infinitive. The simple or noun infinitive is used as the subject of a verb, as the object of a verb, as the complement of a verb, and also as the object of the prepositions about, but, except, and also of than used as a preposition. See, in every use I have mentioned an example. As the subject of a verb is like to err is human. As the object of a verb, like he likes to swim. As the complement of a verb, he seems to be rich. I saw him go. As the object of prepositions, like he is about to die, I cannot but go there, etc. In the next slide, we get what is gerundial infinitive. The another name for gerundial infinitive is qualifying infinitive. The gerundial infinitive is used to express purpose, cause, condition or results that may be attached adverbially to a verb, adverbially to an adjective, adjectively to a noun, or absolutely or parenthetically to a sentence. When I am using adverbially to a verb, I have given the example we eat to leave. When I am using adverbially to an adjective, the example is like I am anxious to learn. When I am using adjectively to a noun, I have given example I have a house to let. And the last case, I have given example to tell the truth, I do not trust him. Now, you would be thinking how you can distinguish a simple infinitive and a gerundial infinitive. The best way of finding out whether an infinitive is simple or gerundial is to expand it. If it becomes a noun clause, it is a simple infinitive. But if it becomes an adjectival or adverbial clause, it is a gerundial infinitive. In colloquial English, when a verb has been already used, the verbal part of the infinitive is sometimes dropped and to alone is used. Like, will you go home? I like to go home. Has he done the work? And so on. In the next slide, we can see the split infinitive. The split infinitive is the name given to an infinitive form in which the main verb is wrongly separated from to by some word in between, like I request you to kindly help me, I request you to quickly do this, etc. In the next slide, I have given sentence. I have suggested to read the following sentence. The first sentence is I like swimming. The word swimming is formed by the verb swim, right? The verb is swim by adding ing, and it is therefore like a verb. We also see that swimming is used as the object of verb like. I like to swim. This is the object to the verb like, and hence it does the work of a noun also. The word swimming is therefore both like a verb and a noun. Thus, it is a verb noun. In the next slide, we can see the heading of gerund. So, here comes what is gerund. A gerund is a noun. I'm mentioning is a noun made from a verb by adding ing. Means a noun made from a verb by adding simply ing. A gerund may be used as the subject of a verb, object of a transitive verb, object of a preposition, and complement of a verb. In all these cases, I have mentioned an example for each of the following. Subject of a verb, like reading is a good habit. Object of a transitive verb, like I like reading stories. Object of a preposition is fond of reading, and complement of a verb, what I like is reading. Now I am mentioning more sentences that will help you to know the gerund well. Like Rama likes riding. She loves dancing. Means the word riding, dancing. The word riding is formed from the verb ride by adding ing. Similarly, the word dancing is formed from the verb dance by adding ing. So these are the gerunds. These two examples will definitely help you to know gerunds well. Now in the last slide, I have shared some tips how you can remember gerunds and infinitive both side by side without confusing the topic. See the part of gerunds. I will be explaining this part first, then I will be going to the infinitive part. Some verbs are followed by the gerund by adding ing forms of other verbs. If I have mentioned few words there which would help you to know it better, like admit, appreciate, avoid, begin, consider, defend, enjoy, fancy, finish, forget, give up, hate, imagine, keep, love, mention, practice, risk, stop, talk about. These are the few words I have given in the slides, and there are many words which I have not mentioned, like deny, discuss, keep, prefer, etc. Now, these type of gerunds means use of gerunds are used to refer to actions that are vivid, means they are vivid, real, ongoing in the present or completed in the past. In the infinitive side, we get some verbs are followed by the infinitive forms. You know the infinitive form, I've shown you how you can form infinitives by adding the word to plus verb of the other verbs. Here also I have mentioned some few words like agree, begin, claim, decide, expect, fail, hesitate, intend, learn, manage, plan, regret, swear, try, want, vow, wish. These are the few words I have mentioned. There are many more like wish, would love, forget, and many other words are there. These are the few words which will help you to know the infinitives well. Now the use of infinitives refer to the actions that are hypothetical or unfulfilled, means they are not fulfilled yet, or the future oriented.